Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and a puzzle from our Korean correspondent today, Sudoku, who has come up with Dice Doku 2. And this is about dice nets. Now that's a topic that used to turn up in maths, and one of those where I never quite understood why it was in maths. It was sort of more art to me, or maybe logic sometimes. Anyway, we will see how this plays today. I mean, Sudoku itself is a topic very popular with mathematicians, but as most people point out, until you get to our variants, you don't actually need numbers. It's just any 9 symbols would do. And talking of symbols, it's not hard to remember that Sudoku is Korean, given that the rules appear, when you call up the puzzle, the rules will appear not only in English, but also in Hangul, the Korean script. So there's always a reminder there. We will have a look at this in a moment. Don't forget that on Patreon, the new hunt is Blobs' Nurikabe puzzle pack. And the puzzles are all variants. They all include the same set of Nurikabe rules and then one other variant. They are absolutely fantastic. Do give it a try. They are brilliant. That's on Patreon, where we also, of course, have a repository for all our crosswords and connections videos that don't appear on the main channel, and sometimes Simon's very long solves that don't go on the channel. And of course, loads of other content, and there's all our apps. These are on links under the video as well, including Killer Sudoku and Cryptic Sudoku, well, Domino Sudoku I should call the app. And Fog of War is our latest one, very popular too. We've got SVEN'S Sudoku Pad, and we've got all our merchandise. I'm just reaching for this excellent mug, Cracking the Cryptic, and prove that you are one of us by having your mug have a Cracking the Cryptic logo on Go to the Merch thing. Now, the first link under the video though is to Dice Doku 2. I don't know anything about Dice Doku 1, but I know this is Dice Doku 2, and Sudoku has sent it to us to give it a try, and I'm going to. We do get dozens of puzzles sent to us every day to try, and only a few make it to the channel. Thank you to the testers who work very hard. Now, normal Sudoku rules apply. That's 1 to 9 going in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. Every cage must fold into a valid normal dice. Now, I'm going to tell the pedants that dice is now an accepted singular for dice, along with die. Anyway, every cage must fold into a valid normal dice where opposing faces sum to 7. And in case you didn't know, that does apply on a regular die or dice. The opposite numbers add up to 7. You have 1 opposite 6, 2 opposite 5, and 3 opposite 4. Digits separated. So, I mean, a rule that is not stated, but that is clearly true, is that all the digits in a cage are different. Another rule that's not stated and also true is that all the cages add up to 21. But there you go. But much more importantly, I imagine, digits opposite each other, when you fold it into a cube shape, have to add up to 7. Digits separated by a white dot are consecutive. Digits separated by a black dot have a 1 to 2 ratio. It's a very simple set of rules. But I don't know that we've done this sort of net type stuff before. I'm going to start now. You give it a try on that first link under the video. Let's get cracking. So, well, I mean, we could highlight all the cells in cages and say they were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, let's just see if we make them all orange. Do we look? We get a set of blues that are the opposite, that are 7, 8, 9. There may be other 3 cell sets where, yes, look, box 6, 7, 8, 9 there. This might actually help. I mean, you may think I'm just playing around, but you never know. You could actually get a set where, you know, if you discover that one of these is on a black dot, it's going to have to be an 8. I'm not immediately seeing any other sets. What I'm really looking for is sets of 6 orange filling a row, column, or box, and I'm not seeing any others, so maybe that was pointless. Okay, where does that leave us now? Not very far forward. Okay, I'm going to, let's get rid of the orange again. I mean, I'll try and just keep those blues highlighted in case they matter. Right, these shapes I understand quite well, because when we used to make dice nets in maths, they looked a lot like this. That cell is opposite that one, because if you fold them up, this is on the bottom. So these two are opposite each other. That is one of the pairs making 7. Either 1, 6, 2, 5 or 3, 4. This is another one. And this is a third one. Now it would be good to see if we could sort of relate these. Yes, we can, because that's another set. On this dice over here, that's another set. But it can't be double red, or we'd have 3 reds in the same row. There are obviously 2 red cells that are a pair adding up to 7. 2 pink ones and 2 green ones in this puzzle. So these can't be double red, and they clearly can't be double green. They're double pink. This is the 6th of these in the row, so it's the other red. That's opposite this one. When that folds over to be what I think of as the top of this dice, you may think of it differently. That's what's going to happen. So now in this shape, I don't know. These other shapes are less clear to me how they fold up. There's probably some very simple algorithm for knowing which bit is opposite the other. So here, I'm just trying to imagine this shape. If that was the top, this is one side, that would be the bottom, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would. Those two are the same colour. And they're not double green or double red, so they're double pink. Well, by the same token, these two must be the same colour in the vertical bit here. And that means by elimination, these two must be the same colour. And that actually makes sense to me, because let's imagine this cell was the top for a moment. This would be one side. That would be a side that also abutted the top. And then this would be the bottom. So I think that's right. And these can't, this actual cell here sees 2 pinks and 2 reds. So that must be green. Then these have to be reds. I think this is a good way of doing the puzzle. Now, this shape looks more confusing, but again, those two in a straight line where you've got 3 in a row, the 2 separated by 1, these must be opposites. Now, they're not green in this case because they're both in column 2, and we've already got a green there. So they're either pink or red. Now what we ended up with here was when you draw a little S shape, an S tetromino, the opposites are the same. So those two would be the same if that applies here. And I think again it does. If we make this the top, that's one side. Let's say that's the left side. That becomes the far side, and this is the near side. So those two are the same. Now, these two cannot be red in this row because that one sees both reds. So they are green or pink. And these two are left as opposite sides, if I've got this right. Oh, well, we know the colour of this one because it sees 2 reds and 2 pinks. So again, I just want to try and visualise the dice shape. If this is the right side and this is the side facing me, that's the top, that's the back side, and this is the left side. Okay, that's right. So those are a green pair. These are now not the green pair, they're the pink pair, and these must be the red pair by elimination. And now we've got this one, and I'm going to use this thing that I've learned, that if you picture an S tetromino, you can make the opposite ends of that the same colour. So those two are one colour. And I mean, this works on this. Those two are another colour, and those two are a third colour. Now I just need to relate these yellow, orange and dark green to the colours I'm already using. Here we go. I'm just going to visualize this cube briefly. I'm not good at this spatial visualization. If I have any weakness, this is probably why I object to this being in maths, because I can't do this sort of spatial visualization very well. But I'm sure it's right for those dark greens. They are the same. This one can't be green or red because they're both used there. So this color is going pink. This yellow color can't be red because in this row it sees both reds. Just doing my visualizing. Yes, I'm pretty sure these are opposite sides. So they're green and then these oranges must be red. And now we have all of these pairs sorted out on the nets. I've never really understood why these dice shapes are called nets. It's a very odd use of the word net. But there we go. That's what they are. Now, where does that leave us? What we need to do is find somewhere that's seeing... Or no, maybe we need to actually separate out the pinks by... I mean, that one sees both of those two individually, I mean. It's not easy. The reds are much more susceptible to that, but we're still going to be left with those two unresolved. No, I might be barking up the wrong trail a bit, up the wrong tree. Let's not mix my metaphors too badly. Okay, this cell sees double red, double pink, but it also sees both greens. So that's one of our blues. That's interesting. Now, there may be more like that. This one sees both pinks and double red and double green. Both pinks in this net and double red, double green in the column. I'm not sure that this is a good way to go. Oh, look, yeah, this is working. That sees both reds and both greens in the row, both pinks in the column. Oh, and that's on a white dot. Now, wouldn't it be great if this couldn't be blue? Then we'd really have a start. This sees double red, double green in the row. It does see double pink in this net, so that's blue as well. That is 7, 8, 9. Now this is one of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colours. It's got to be pink because it sees both reds and both greens. This is a strange way of doing this puzzle. This is not what I expected at all. Now, in this box, we've got 3 left that can be blue. Neither of these see... Yes, this sees the greens in the row and the pinks and the reds in the column. So that's blue. I should be either flashing or somehow colouring these reds against each other. But I might mess up the colouring that I've got going. I don't know. Let me just figure this out as we go along. Can a blue digit be on that? Only if there was an 8-4 pair there. Well, only one of these can... Right, that's interesting. In this row, these 2 digits can't both be blue because that would be 4 blues in the row, along with those 2. So one of them is not 7, 8 or 9, but is attaching to a 7, 8 or 9 on a white dot. So one of those is a 6. And one of these 2 is therefore a 7, and that one's not a 7. That's very strange. Now, these other ones in the row are definitely not blue because we've got a 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruple. There, in fact, we can't even have 6 in the rest of the row. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can we colour them? Yes, this one is green. It's the last colour needed in its column that's not blue, so that's blue. Now this sees double green in the box, double red in the column, so it's pink. Yeah, that's fine. This sees double pink in the row, double red in the column, so that's green. This is a strange way of doing the puzzle. Right, now I was going to say these two are going to be red and purple, but, red and pink, but I'm not even sure about that, because one of them can be blue still. If that is from 7, no, if that's a 6, then this is 7, and we would still need an 8 or 9. So I don't know. So let's look up here for a moment. We've got 2 greens, 2 reds. We're going to have a pink and a blue in those cells. In this column, we still need a pink and a blue. Well, I can mark that as pink and blue, pink or blue. And that is quite interesting because now I have 5 cells of pink and blue, and I need 3 blues and 2 pinks. That's all of them. So this is a green-red pair. And this is either red now, if it's a 6, or it's blue. This is either red or blue, similarly in the column. And one of those is red, and this is going to be pink. Because there's no room for pink in these cells. Yeah, okay. This is going to have to be the second pink. And that's not pink, that's now definite blue. I don't know, this is so weird. But I'm going to keep on doing it like this until I'm forced to think about numbers more. I still think, oh no, what's the, yes. This, yes, bingo. This can't be pink or green either in the box. So that is, so it doesn't matter which of these is a 6. 6 is a red digit. So the red digits are 1 and 6. And I'm going to remove, oh, bother. Oh, this one couldn't be 6 because one of those two is a 6. So that's a 1, that's a 6. Now, it doesn't inform me about the others, actually. They are, I just get 1 and 6 left in those cells. As now, here, the black dot says 1 or 6. Now, the green digit is therefore either 2 or 3. That's not so helpful. This is going to be either red or blue as well. Very similar to that one. Okay, now, that means this is red and 2 blues. And that's another blue. Not so helpful. In this box, we need 2 blues and a green. Well, I don't know. This can't have 2 blues, that's obvious. We now can't, oh, all of pink and green are now not using 1 and 6. Oh, bother. 1 and 6, and those ones not using 1. There we go. So they're always either 2, 5 or 3, 4 pairs. So we've really narrowed down the pencil marking a bit. So I'm thinking about this row again. This can't be a 6-3 black dot. It's either 8-4, 4 or 4-2. It can't be 1-2 either. So there's definitely a 4 on that. And these cells can't include a 4. I don't know if that's going to be any use. These can't have a 6 in or a 1. I don't know why I didn't cover those earlier. Right, now I need to do a tiny bit more colouring and then I think we're good. 2 greens in this column and 2 reds there, look in the row looking at that cell. But it could be pink or blue. Now 2, 4 and 8, maximum 1 blue. The other 2, if it's 2 and 4, they are green and pink. If it's 4 and 8, one's blue and one is pink or green. Right, maybe I'm going to colour the greens against each other. That might work. Let's try that. So we'll have a violet flash in one shade of green and a dark green flash in the other. So there, we'll start there. That's violet, that's dark green. That's violet, that's dark green. that's violet, that's dark green, that's in the same cage as this one, which is violet, so that's dark green, that's violet. This one over here is in the same cage as violet, so that's dark green. Now, these two cells see both versions of green, and they see both versions of red in the box and both versions of pink. So they are double blue, and that was a very useful exercise. This is green, and we now know it's the violet flash version. Now, the violet flash version of green must be in those cells. Oh, and the other version of green is there by total elimination. We've got 4 of them looking at that box. I don't know what that means. Since the violet flash version is here and is 2 or 4, this must be an odd number. That must be 3 or 5. That's probably not going to do anything, but it's still true. Now, in this column, we've had all 3 blues used and 1 red between those 4 cells. So these are going to be red and pink. And they're a black dot pair. So they're either 1, 2 or 6, 3. I don't know which. But red and pink have then been used up. Here we're going to have green and blue. And the green flavour is the dark green version. Oh look, all of these see both versions of green. So none of those are green. Can I use that? Not much. I didn't think the reds and pinks were worth colouring against each other. That might have been a mistake, but... Okay, I'd better try and colour the pinks as well. So we'll make some of them orange and some of them yellow. Orange and yellow in the same cage there. So that's orange. This is yellow in the same row as an orange. That's orange. I mean, the colour's getting very exciting now. That's yellow in the same cage. That's orange in the same region. Yellow in the same column. Ah, now this one is yellow. But it... Oh yes, orange in that row. So that's yellow. That's orange. It doesn't colour these two. And that was the problem I was envisaging, if I'm honest. And that means... What does it mean? It means this one is not pink because it sees both varieties. I don't know if that helps. I'm terrified I meant to colour the blue cells as well against each other, but that's going to just... I mean, if it's not a mess already, that's really going to make a mess. Ah, these two... They don't involve a 6, and they can't be from 7, 8, 9, because that would make too many 7, 8, 9s in the column. So these are both coloured cells. They're not blue. And they don't involve 6. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. There must be a way through this, a very simple way through this. One of these is a 6, one of these is a 7. That became 8 or 9. Now that digit went in one of those cells. Where does this digit go in column 9? It goes there, so that's not a 7. 7 is... No, I don't know. I was going to say one of those two. That's not proven at all. And down here, I don't know. Oh, goodness. I cannot get the disambiguations done. I like my colour scheme, but it's kind of run out of juice a bit at the moment. Right, none of those can be pink because they see both pinks in that row. One of these is orange. Ah, that is not orange pink because it sees it here. This can't be pink, so that's the other pink in the row. That is orange pink. Right, now I can colour this region with yellow and orange. That makes this pink yellow. And that makes these have a blue in, which is an 8. And the other digit is a 4, and we know its colour. It's green. And what's more, it's green with a purple flash is 4. Now, I'm not going to put that in those cells. I'm just going to put 4 into these purple flashed cells because it's right. Thank you, black dot in box 5. Now, 4 is always opposite 3, which is the green flash. There. That's loads of those 3s. There is a 3 on this pair, which is 3 and 6. We did expect 6 to exist in red. That's now 1, 6, 1, 6, 1, 6, 1, 6 here. And that stops this being a 6 in the corner and stops it being red at all. So that does a bit of colouring for us, especially down here, which is 6. And that's now a 7, our first digit in the blue. That's not 7, that's 7. That's on a white dot with 8. Now, is that going to be enough to colour the blues that we have? 9 there. Probably isn't. Oh, yes, look, 9 and 7 are both looking at that cell. 7 there. These are an 8-9 pair. That's a 7. That's not a 7. This is now 9 in the column. That's 8. That's not able to be 8. This is not able to be 9. There's an 8 in one of those cells. I should have actually varied the colour. Now, I think I could uncolour lots of cells, and I think it's going to help. So I'm going to uncolour all of them to start with and just say blues in one of those 2 again. I could uncolour all the 1s and 6s perhaps. Oh look, I've got a 1 that I didn't write in there. And up here, there is a 1 in there. That's a 1-2 pair. Now that's going to be helpful. This is a 5. Now I can do these yellow flashes are 5s. In fact, maybe I should remove pink. No, let's just do the yellow flashes as 5s because they have to be. They're opposite 2s in the nets. Right, I'm going to get rid of all the red straight away. Let's do all the red. There we go. Bye-bye red. I'm going to get rid of all the pink, all the yellow, and all the orange. Just leave the blues behind. And I guess that's why they call it the blues. Now, that's not an 8. Now we've got this white, these dots at the top still to do, and these ones are probably going to be helpful. 7, 3, 6, 5. We can't put 8, 9 in there because of that. We can't use 4 in here because 3 and 5 aren't available. That is a 2-1 pair. And since this can't be 1 or 2, this must be 4. And there we go. That unwinds a lot of things up there. 6, 8, 9 are the remaining digits in that. 3, 7, 9 here. It's a bit odd. I don't know which one is 3. These include 5, which must be there and is not blue. That's miscolouring somehow. That's 7 or 8. I think that was because I part coloured things and then uncoloured some of them. Now, 3. Is 3 going to be in the corner? I don't know. This digit sees a 4-8 pair in the box, so that is 9. And as well as coming out of those cells, it comes out of that cell. We get an 8 there. That gives us 4, 8 here. That gives us a 7. That gives us a 9. That fixes 8 and 9. That fixes 7 and 8. This is now a 7. That's an 8. That's a 7, 8, 7. Let's get rid of all the blue colouring because it's done its job as well. Don't need any more colouring anymore. We can just fill in the last remaining digits. 1, 6, 7. No 9 in those cells, so the top one's a 6. That's 8. That's 9. 6, and that is 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, proving its position. And that's the puzzle. There we go. Thanks. and in Hangul as well. And thank you to Sudoku for sending that through. I think only to us, only a couple of testers and I have solved that, but that is great fun. That's a really interesting puzzle. I may have made a bit of a dog's dinner of it, but on the other hand, I may have solved it in the most efficient way possible. I'm not entirely sure. I will be watching your times with interest. Thank you for watching us on the channel. Thank you for supporting us in every way that you do, and so many of you do say really nice things about what we're doing, and we're incredibly grateful. Love to see you again tomorrow if you can make it to Cracking the Cryptic, but bye for now.